morning and welcome to The Big Story on Daybreak Live, right here on Dominion Television, the platform where we explore issues shaping lives and redefining the future. Today we turn our attention to the next generation and the undeniable force that represents in a rapidly changing world. I am Samson Balogun. Our conversation today, Voices of Tomorrow, Youth Power in a Changing World, centers on the strength, creativity, and resilience of young people and how their potential can be harnessed for national and global transformation. Leading this discussion with me this morning in the studio is our guest, Dr. Olawi James, who is a medical laboratory scientist turned pastor, teacher, conference speaker, life coach, and tireless youth advocate. With over 30 years in the ministry, he currently serves as Director of Youth and Student Ministries at the Nigerian Baptist Convention. And of course, he has authored more than 20 books, mentored thousands of youths, and devoted his life to empowering youth, shaping leaders, and inspiring purposeful living. Good morning, Nigerians, once again. Thank you for joining us on the show. Do well to link up with us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. You can also watch us live on our website, www.dominion.org.ng, www.dominion.org.ng. Good to have you in the studio, Doctor.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, there's a lot to talk about today, and we are layer by layer, we are going to peel and scratch beyond the surface.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the next generation, because there's so much going on. I want to know exactly how the so-called voices of tomorrow can be heard today. Now, let me put this to you. The International Youth Day is being celebrated around the world today, and young people globally are doing that. From your perspective, what does this day mean for Nigerian youth?
Thank you so much. Today is a very special day all over the world. It's the International Youth Day. And it's actually a day that is set aside to discuss about the vital role of the youth as an agent of change, as leaders, and as mobilizer in promoting development. Unfortunately for Nigeria youth, we seem not to be doing much in promoting this. And it's as if the youth are actually not in the affairs of the nation. If we must tell ourselves the truth, look at our economics, look at our politics, look at every sphere of life in Nigeria, and you will be surprised that we just have very few of them who are actually involved, despite the fact that they are the majority. So we see our youth in Nigeria today just lamenting, just struggling, as if there is no plan, there is no program, and there is no agenda for them. But the time has come for us as a nation. The time has come for us as churches, as mosques, as individuals. The time has come for us as a community to know that no nation can be great when they neglect their youth.
Now, you talked about the youth being the majority. Now, when we talk about youth power, does it also lie in the numbers?
Yes, it lies in the number. The truth is that it also lies in the number, but it also lies in their strength and their capability. You see, the contemporary youth are living in a digital world. They're a digital generation. And I tell you the truth, the contemporary youth are so innovative, so intelligent that they can make things happen. They are the largest group, but they are not only the largest group, they are the most appreciable group of people. That small boy you are looking at today, in the next 5, 10, 20 years, will be the CEO. So they are the most appreciable group of people. Beyond that, they are also the greatest potentials that are waiting to be tapped for the development of the nation or any community. So their number, for example, in Nigeria now, if you are using a 35 that is globally used, because the age of the youth is not the same all over the world. And whether it is United Nations or African youth or even Nigeria youth policy is not the same. It ranges between around 15 and 35. Some are using 17 to 35, some are using 17 to 20, but globally it's like around 15 to 35. You will discover that they form almost about 70% of our total population, those who are below 35. So if you are having a generation below 35 that are almost about 70%, you can't put them aside. And can you imagine the number that we are turning out in our universities in Nigeria? Many of them are professionals. On yearly basis. They are professionals, they have the capacity, but it's as if we are not allowing them to manifest the grace, the gift, and the potentials that is in them.
You mentioned digital age. What effect has the ever-changing digital environments we now find ourselves now, what effect has it had on the Nigerian youth generally, or global youth?
You see, for the global youth and the Nigerian youth, it makes the world to become a global village. So the contemporary youth are what I call global digital citizens. You see, because they are digital, they know more than you can think. Because they are digital, they can connect. And they are digital natives. That is, they are born into it. They know it. It's inbuilt.
They are almost all of them are tech savvy.
Almost all of them. In fact, just give your child about 7 or 6 your phone. It will shock you that child can do some things that you will even struggle to do. That you find difficult to do, they can access it. So they are global citizens. So that has exposed them to a lot of things. They can learn fast, they can network, and they can make things happen.
Okay, now, very quickly, I want us to talk about opportunities and challenges faced by youth around the world generally, and then we'll localize it to Nigeria. Now, how would you describe the current state of youth participation in leadership, policy making, and social change in Nigeria?
In Nigeria,
are they effective in any way?
It is not at all. In fact, they are cut off. That is the truth. I presented a paper somewhere.
Now, you said they are cut off. Before you go deep into it, is it because they are disconnected or because they were disconnected? I want to put it, I want us to be clear.
The system itself actually cuts them off. Right. That's their truth. You know, they are struggling. Look at the political system, for example. For you to join politics and for you to be relevant in politics, for you to occupy any position in Nigeria, it is not by merit. It is through your godfather and also the use of money.
Some claim they do not have godfathers.
No, it's not true. Some people push them to that level. Some people, nobody occupy political position. You
can't just appear from anywhere.
You can't just appear for nowhere in Nigeria in politics. Somebody must have been, because the way we make sure, you see, there's no primary election in Nigeria. Even within the political parties, they select, they choose. Look at our governors. What is their age? Thank God that in the last 3-4 years, things are beginning to see changes. We are beginning to see changes. But if you study Nigeria politics, you will see a twist in the last 20 years. Before then, look at the First Republic. Look at the Second Republic. I did a paper,
young men, some in their 30s.
Some in their 30s.
The oldest probably in 40s.
Baba Awolowo? How old was Baba Sik? How old were all these people? Tafawa Balewa,
Yakubu Gowon,
and the likes, both military and civilian.
Somewhere in their 30s, 20s.
Only 1 or 2 of them was actually at 40. But today, look at all of them. It's like recycling the old generation. And it's becoming difficult for this generation to penetrate. And because unlike the past generation, you see, we talk about the digital age and the global generation the other time. Yeah. The past generation, they have loyalty to structure, to system, to nation. They believe they are tied to their mother's land, or you call it their father's land. They are tied to their community. They are tied to their town. But not this generation. So the whole generation will fight to make things happen, to be part of the system. This new generation, because they are global citizens and they have opportunities all over the world, instead of fighting you, they will walk away.
They either leave.
They leave. They walk away. They look for better opportunities. That is the Japa syndrome. And it is not only in traveling out. They leave system. They leave structure. They leave community. They live anywhere. They look for where it is better for them. That's why you see they can have good relationship with people outside and they don't care about their family. Why the whole generation will be ready to die for their
For what
family,
is
that
theirs.
this is my family, this is my inheritance. This generation is not interested in that. They see the entire world as their land, and they believe they can make it anywhere, anytime. So they are not ready to be fighting when you don't give them opportunity. But try them and give them opportunity. They will surprise you. They will do more than you think they can do.
Now, let me cite you some instances of youth who found their way to power in the country. And to an extent, not too many people are really satisfied with their performances. I will cite a former governor of Kogi State, Governor Yaya Bello, for example. Some have had serious claims about him, allegations of paying his children's tuition fees up till, their kids actually, up till they graduate in the university from the coffers of the Kogi State government. Now, these are youths. And what happened when, you know, they are given opportunities and then they fail to seize that opportunity? If you had performed excellently well, probably more youth to be encouraged in that state, for example. But now, the situation has changed.
Thank you so much. That situation was actually unfortunate because that was supposed to be a classical model of what can be done through this new emerging generation. But look at it this way. When I was reflecting on the matter, the first question I asked is, how did he
Get there.
get there? Let me tell you something that is quite unfortunate in our nation. It's easier for touts to get into politics and some of these leaders, this position,
technocrats.
than technocrats. Because as they follow politicians, they give them position. So the children of the politicians, as well as some of these touts, or some of these people also working for the politicians, are pushed into politics when there are opportunities, instead of looking for professionals, technocrats, brilliant guys, and push them to where they can help the nation. So that is the problem. But I want to tell you the truth. An average youth has the potential to make things happen.
Now, how do we bridge?
They are empowered.
How do we bridge the gap between the youth and the system? There seems to be a disconnect. And then how do we bridge this gap?
One of the things we are trying to do now, for example, from our angle, is to let the youth know that it is all about their life and their future. So they should take charge. Power is not given. They should take over.
Take it.
They should take over. We are trying to, and we are advocating that the youth should create a movement. Of course, we are beginning to have some of our leaders who are very visionary, who understand that no matter what they build now, if they don't involve the youth, those things will not last.
Right.
So if they will have a legacy, they must involve the youth. And we are not just talking about just putting just anybody. We are talking about youth that have been prepared, youths that are well and thoroughly equipped for this assignment. So what the youth can do is to create a network. What we can also do is to begin to identify visionary leaders. I tell you, in Nigeria, there are visionary leaders. There are gifted leaders. Sometimes we talk about our leaders as if all of them are bad, all of them don't have vision. It's not true. Some of them are also struggling. They want to do things, but the system makes it difficult because they don't have people around them with similar vision that can support the dream, that can push the dream. I'm looking forward to a political revolution or movement
by the youth.
By the youth. The day the youth wake up, you see, like Napoleon said, what I say about the youth is a sleeping giant. The day they wake up, no president, no governor, nobody will be able to stop them. The day they wake up. And that is why we are warning our political leaders and our community leaders not to wait for that day, especially if they will wake up in a negative way. But I believe Nigeria youth will wake up in a positive way to make a change.
Now,
the day they wake up. Look at, people talk about rigging election. I've been saying they rig election, they buy food. It is because the youth are not voting. And somebody said, what do you mean? Look at the population that can vote now. What is our beloved president? Can you remember the total election he had? No, the first three in the last election had less than 10 million. The day the youth wake up, the day people wake up, how many people vote in this state? How many governors have 2 million votes? Some states don't even have, some people even became governor with less than 500 votes, 300 votes, 200 votes. The day the youth wake up and decide to vote, that day all this nonsense will stop. That's why we are creating a movement, both politically, spiritually, every dimension, that the youth must wake up. It is about their future. Those who are leading now, some of them have been leading when they were youth. Some of them have been in power in this and this for the last 40, 50 years.
Okay, very quickly, as a youth advocate, what role does mentorship and intergenerational partnership play in harnessing the youth power for the younger generation and the older generation coming together and then creating synergy to make sure the youth actually take over, like you said earlier?
Why am I committed to this? It is because, I'll tell you the truth, the role of mentors is very critical. I had the opportunity while I was a teenager, being helped and being raised by many of the leaders. I've been involved in leadership at the local level, religious level, community level, different level, from less than 20. By virtue of people who saw some gift in me, even when I'm not too sure I really believe in myself. Up to today, sometimes I ask myself, what did they see in me 30, 40 years ago that made some of them to be very interested, mentoring me, exposing me to opportunities, and even serving as ladders. You see, leaders not only prepare, they expose, they also serve as ladders. You see, some of the leaders, they are key holders. That's the problem. That's why we are trusting God to give us some of the leaders who will be visionary. You see, some of them, they have maximized their capacity, but they know what next. They even have the vision of what can be done or what should be done, but they can't do anything now. But the key to move out is in their hand. If they don't open the door, you will keep struggling. We keep struggling. So when it comes to this, leaders themselves will begin to see well, identify potentials in the community. You are a member of House of Rep. Who are the youth? I'm not talking about all these youth that they are just using for politics to mobilize votes, for political gains. Who are the youth that you are raising, that you are mentoring? Organizing seminars for them, taking them out, exposing them to opportunities, empowering them. Those who want to go to school, those who want to do one thing or the other. Give them all they need. All they need, all they want is to know that they are needed. All they need is to be empowered. All they need is to be allowed to maximize their potential, to exercise their gifts and potentials. So the role of mentor, the problem is that many of our leaders are working alone or working with cronies.
Now, before you go deeper into that, I want to ask you this question when it comes to mentorship. Currently, we do not have too many mentors, and we do not have too many mentees. Now, what is the problem? Is it that the mentees, who are meant to be the mentees, are not willing to be mentored, or the mentors do not want to have mentees? Why do we have such gap in the current system?
We have problem in both ways. Before I move to that, for you to know it is critical, why sometimes these things seems to be paining me, there are a lot of things paining us, those of us working with the youth in Nigeria. When you look at our leaders now, most of them were mentored. Look at the people raised by Baba Awolowo. Let's look at Southwest. Can you see the flow of those people raised by Baba Awolowo? You may like our president, you may not like him. Look at how many people he has raised. The structure he created
across the country.
Across the country. And the people he has raised. You may like him, you may not like him. But the truth is that how many people are raising leaders? But it is both ways. And it is also because for the youth, the truth is that many of them, they have an independent mind. And because they also have opportunities, some of them believe they don't need anybody, which is not true. You will limit yourself if you are not connected. Like we always put it, that your network will determine your net worth. If you are not connected, in fact, you will also make mistakes others have made before that you are not supposed to make. So we know that some of the youths are not ready for mentoring. But we also have more than enough that are ready for mentoring. But why are we also having problem with the old people? The issue is that they don't understand youth culture. Part of the culture they don't understand is that, you know, our own generation, when you look at me like this, I know what you mean. You don't need to speak. Look at your son, your daughter today now, when they get Zara, and he can even ask you, Daddy, why are you looking at me that way? They also, unlike also our own generation, the generation before us, who will serve any other person without asking. They get close to you, they serve you, they do everything for you. Not this generation. You tell them what you want them to do. And when people complain about the youth, I say, it's the same thing with your children at home. When we were growing up, your parents don't need to ask you to sweep the house, to iron the cloth, to take care of the house. If you don't do it and they come back, they will even beat you. But put your cloth on the table today and go out. Your child will leave it there. And when you come back, you ask, he say, Daddy, you didn't ask me to, to iron it or to do it. But instruct him or her, they will do it. The issue is that this contemporary, the issue of youth culture is creating problem. Sometimes the adults see them as proud. They see them as if these ones are not ready. No, it is because the world has changed. Their culture has changed. So if we will mentor them, we must understand their culture and use their culture to reach their culture.
Okay, now let's talk about the global challenges generally, and such as climate change, unemployment, inequality, and where do you think Nigerian youth can actually make the most impact, at least what Nigeria currently needs?
The truth is that when we are looking at our youth today, it's difficult to say this is just the area, because we are in crisis as a nation. There must be value change. Sincerely speaking, as far as I'm concerned, the first area that we need to focus that will help in total change is value change. Unfortunately, the government and virtually everybody, we are not working enough on creating value change. Because without value, I know people will think that we should focus on the issue of leadership, that they should be involved in leadership. They should be involved in the economy. But I want to tell you, youths are involved in the economy. Some are involved rightly, some are involved negatively. But for me, the best thing now is for government and everybody to focus on education, human capacity development with correct value. If we do that, every other thing will change. It's a matter
if everyone has education.
Sound education, balanced education, not only mental education. So what we are doing in Nigeria now is more of mental education. People go to school just to pass. In those days when you go to the university, everything about your life will change.
Changes.
Your worldview, your character, everything about you, your value system, everything will change. Even your dressing, not negatively like today. Because you will not dress anyhow, because you are a graduate. You value yourself, you see yourself as being special. But today people go to the university just to get certificate, and you wonder if they have been to the university. So I would say for me, we should focus more on sound education, balanced education.
Now, very quickly, there's a question I want to ask you, which is special, but then if we talk about education, just like you said, after education, something must happen. Some people say, oh, it's not necessary for you to get a white-collar job. As a youth, you can also create something for yourself. Just like you said, there used to be a time when, even if you go to the technical college and you are done with school, automatically you know there's something you want to be doing for yourself. And that is not so this time around. What exactly do you think the government can do to come in and then make this?
You see, that's why I talk about balanced education. Please go and look at our courses and curriculum. You see several courses that mostly we are studying that are not useful. Even in the university, we turn out thousands of students studying. I don't want to mention courses so as not to discourage.
They'll say they can work anywhere.
Youth. Where they graduate, they finish the university and virtually they can use the certificate. Now, meanwhile, what they're supposed to give them in addition, that's why I talk about total education, balanced education, whereby your certificate is beyond the course that you studied. And we must, from the university, make people to understand that not everybody will get this scholar job. So you prepare them for your country. Give training, run courses that are useful. Prepare them with exposure in the university so that when they go out and beyond that, you know, people who have traveled, if you have traveled out, when I started traveling out, the first thing I saw that shocked me was that you hardly see a student in a higher institution that is not working. All over the world, go to UK, go to US, go all over the world, and in several parts of Africa.
Part-time jobs.
More than 80%, only few are not doing anything before they leave the university. Part-time job. They have the hours they are working. So when they leave the university, even if they have not been able to get the type of job they are looking for, they're already doing something. But I don't know if it is 99% of
Nigeria full-time education.
Full-time education. Even the children of the poor, they have to do full-time education. They are not exposed to work. But all over the world, as a student, they are already working.
Do you think that actually contributed to the laziness the late former President Muhammadu Buhari was talking about, that Nigerian youth are lazy?
You see, I don't believe in what our president said. They are not lazy. They are not lazy. Of course, the fact that we don't expose them to work contributed significantly, and is still contributing significantly to many of them not knowing what to do, not because they are lazy. If you want to know we are not lazy, please go to Lagos. Every time. I travel to Lagos virtually every time now because of the nature of my assignment. Anytime I go to Lagos, I both weep for Nigeria and thank God for Nigeria. You will see men running to sell ordinary water.
Chips, water.
If they can do that, thousands, millions of them running around, walking. If they can do that, can you imagine if they have opportunities?
Now, before we go on this show, the Arise Congress is around the corner.
Yes.
What's it about?
Wow, thank you so much. A few years ago, God gave us a vision through our leader, Reverend Dr. Israel Adelani Akanji, the president of the Nigeria Baptist Convention and all the Baptists in Africa, with the slogan of "No Youth, No Future." We discovered that the way we are going as a nation, the way we are going as a denomination, without special emphasis on the youth, that will be a problem in the future. So we created a slogan, "No Youth, No Future." So we had a seminar and a conference of the entire Nigeria Baptist Convention. And that conference, we declare a state of emergency on youth and students. That what do we do to help our youth to become champions? So it is about creating a movement of champions for kingdom exploit and global impact. But it's a faith-based program. But unlike most faith-based programs, we are now raising champions. We are raising a movement of champions, both for kingdom exploit and also global impact. So Arise Congress is a gathering of young people. 2 years ago, we gathered 25,000.
25,000 youth.
Youth, young people, at the Baptist International Center, very close to the Redemption Camp. Just about 5 minutes drive. To Redemption Camp. And we gather that number where will thoroughly prepare them for the future. Total preparation. Your career, your ministry, your destiny, your health, every area of your life. And we are still doing the same thing this year, September 3 to 6. We will still be gathering. Our target this year is about 30,000.
30,000.
At least 30,000.
5,000 more than what last year.
We know that it's possible because usually in our system we don't pre-register. But surprisingly this time around we are asking them to pre-register. 12,000 have pre-registered. Wow. And if now you have 12,000 that are pre-registered, you should know that we are going to get them. So that's why we are gathering, and we are bringing 16 speakers. The only African VC in the United Kingdom is coming to come and speak to them about global opportunity in UK and Europe. All this japa, the easy way, without struggle. That will be clean and neat and you will not struggle. We are having 3 of them also coming from the United States that are coming to speak to them about global opportunity. Bishop Abioye will be with us to speak to them about becoming a champion, emergence of champion. The sister Pastor Nike Adeyemi will also be with us to come and speak. Of course, Lawrence Oyo will be there. Fela Durotoye will be talking about the nation, the youth and the nation that we are talking about. Pastor Fela
Durotoye also.
So Bishop Adewale will be coming. We are having the MD of the Arade Oil also coming to talk about how they can boom in business from nothing to becoming something. We are having our top shot Baptist ministers.
Quite a number of people coming.
Our president, Dr. Momola, Dr. Samson Adedokun, Mike Oyegbu, several top Baptist ministers from the north, from the east, from the west, and other Pentecostal pastors will also be coming. Professor, our Vice President Minister, Professor Johnny Inaya will be there. Top ministers will be there. Of course, our President, Dr. Israel Adelani Akanji, will also be there. So top ministers from across will be there. And it's going to be a time of both spiritual encounter, fellowship, and networking. Especially, we are going to also be having career fairs. So companies, we are working with some companies on career fairs so that we can also help people. Well, we are trusting God that the federal government will be represented.
All right. When is it coming up again?
It's September 3 to 6. September 3 is a program that all youths are invited.
And where's the venue again?
The venue is Baptist International Center, Lufuakpe. It's kilometer 30, Lagos Ibadan Express Road, Lufuakpe. It's a program that people must be. For music, we are going to be having 3 top music artists. You know, youth, they like music.
Absolutely.
And it will be led by Lawrence Oyo, Pastor Lawrence Oyo.
Dr. James Olawi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It has been a wonderful session with you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we do hope that next time we'll call you, you'll be here.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
All right,
so much.
Dr. Olawi James is the Director of Youth Ministries, Nigerian Baptist Convention, and with him we have made sense of challenges youths are facing in Nigeria, and we do hope that people can actually pick 1 or 2 from what he has said so far on the show this morning. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And our conversation has shown that with the right guidance, opportunities, and values, young people can indeed shape a brighter tomorrow. We thank Dr. Olawi James once again for sharing his wisdom and passion with us. And to every young person watching, your voice matters, your dreams are valid, and the world is waiting for your impact. I'm Samson Balogun. Thank you for being a part of The Big Story today.